you a realtor or a bounty hunter?
My dog.
This is aggressive. This is the Batmobile.
Shake hands with me.
Oh man, one day at a time, bro.
That shit smell good.
Oh, caramel macchiato, man.
Got you.
That's the only thing I know how to say.
It's Virginia Elite Solar Realtor. It's your boy Dean. Back to another video. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate. Here with my dog, Mr. Lito Graham.
YouTube.
You know what I'm saying? A homie. Not only that, actually a real estate client of mine. Shout out to the Pet Ways, you know, Mike and Shanice, and they introduced me to Lito. Well, long story short, Lito and the family was coming into the area. They needed a rental for the time. We won't even talk about buying at the time. Linked up with them, found a rental, had something that made do, got them situated. About a year after that, a year and a half, something like that, Lito calls me back. He's actually ready to purchase his first home. So, you know, we got another episode of past client testimonials in the Hellcat Redeye. I'm gonna ask you, Lito, what do you remember about the transactions? What do you take away from it? And what do you think my strengths and my weaknesses were as a realtor?
You know what? I think my home purchasing situation, our situation wasn't typical. The house that we bought with yours, oh my, oh boy. That's why they make cup holders?
That's exactly why they make cup holders.
I need a sippy cup. Oh my God. What was the question, bro?
What was my
the house. Oh yeah, so
bro lost his train of thought.
Did I? So honestly, man, it was dope for the both of us.
Okay.
That being my first home purchase, I knew I was going in it as an investor.
Okay.
I knew I had ulterior motives for the house. Yeah, they don't got cameras out here, huh? It was what year? 2020?
That was 2021.
2021. It was the last of the 2%, 3% that you could catch. Man, we deployed so many tactics on that house. So first, I started off with a different realtor. The realtor wasn't speaking any of the language that I liked. The realtor that I was dealing with was trying to tie my hands. The only thing I was hearing was the one record of coming over asking price.
Okay.
Coming over asking price, coming over asking price, waive inspections, and that of the sort. So,
red flag. If you a buyer and that's all you hearing, it's red flag.
The sellers wanted. God.
It's got some power back there, bro.
Damn.
It's got some power.
You know, not only drive foreigns, but this should make you consider something.
It's an asterisk beside this car, dog.
Yes, what it say on the dash?
220.
What's the most you took it to?
I ain't gonna say that on camera. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, okay. You edit this though, right? Nah, so the sellers wanted X amount. It was distressed sellers. They had to sell the property. I know we had an opportunity given their timeline. And I needed somebody to really speak the language for me to draft out the deal that I wanted. And that's when my man Dean came along. I don't know, bro. I can't even speak on how much your assistance helped me and how much it differed from other realtors that I deal with.
I appreciate that.
You know, I got more than one property. After I bought this house, I bought another house, you know, in less than a year after that. Investor fever, I guess. What was so great about your assistance with the house was the knowledge that you was giving me as a first-time home buyer. The things to look out for, how to not get taken advantage of, and more importantly, how to protect the house that you purchased. I did not have any experience with that. If it wasn't for Dean, I would have, immediately after buying the house, my, what happened?
The HVAC unit.
My HVAC unit.
Never forget
my
that
HVAC unit
bro.
failed. Dean, inspector, what's his name?
Steve.
Shout out to fucking
Shout out to Steve. Hey, you like the third person that said shout out to Steve,
man.
Shout out to Steve.
Steve noticed a heat differential because I have HVAC units on 2 different levels.
Yes.
And Steve noticed a differential in the temperature from the thermostat to what the heat or the cold air was actually blowing out. So he was like, hey, look, make sure that's in writing. Make sure it's attention to it. you want that service by a professional. Fortunately, the sellers of the house took a shortcut and got a guy to
try to backdoor me,
service the HVAC unit, which they know had problems with. And after buying the house, before me and my family are able to move in, 2 days prior to moving in, the HVAC unit was completely not working. Temperatures in my house was reaching 109.
It was the summer. It was the heart of the summer. It was the heart of the summer. So it was hot.
Whatever. So because of Dean due diligence, Dean advice, and if Dean did not do that, I would have been on the hook for
about 10 bands.
About $10,000.
About 10.
And my situation ended up turning into a legal situation. I ended up getting a realtor lawyer. And that whole L I took ended up being a dub. I can't say nothing else.
My boy came out on top.
Can't say nothing else about that, and bought another house, you know. I gotta say the biggest difference and the biggest thing that stands out is the amount of care that Dean give his clients. And anybody that probably ever worked with him will probably say the same exact thing. Realtors are not the same. It's night and day, and it's stark contrasts between the two. Some is purely motivated by money, and some actually care about their clients, and they know by caring about their clients, they will give greater success in just that. But yeah, man, Dean's the man. He put me in my first home, beautiful home.
That house was, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. So when y'all think of first time homes, you know, you think of the little 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranch. I think out of all the first time home buyers I dealt with, Lito probably in the top 5 percentile, but that was a beautiful house. Hands down.
3-bedroom, 3-story.
3-story, had an elevator.
Has an elevator.
Has an elevator in it.
My private street.
Yes.
It's
you gotta know, you know, you gotta find your realtor that knows the areas, know where the gym's at.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, and it's not just buying a house. It's different nuances that goes into the element of a deal structure.
Very true.
You know, and it wasn't just buying a house, you know, it was things that we deployed and implemented within a deal that, you know,
made it work for him.
Yeah, where I was able to receive money back.
Yes.
Get my rate lowered.
You got lower rate, you got closing cost assistance in the height of the seller's market.
In the height of the seller's market, where everyone's paying above asking price, no inspections.
Yes.
Dean got me the house of my dreams.
And the appraisal came back with equity in it. From
the appraisal came back with equity in it.
That was a double.
I probably had that property for how long?
Talking about when?
What, 2 years?
Now about 2 years, yeah.
Now about 2 years.
What you got, probably like 50? Somewhere
64.
50, 60?
64.
Gotcha.
I'm up 64 in equity and less.
There you go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Shout out to Dean. Shout out to his due diligence. And the best thing about it, it wasn't no question that was too dumb. He educated me, and I appreciate it. You know, I'm going to school to get my license as soon as I turn over my tenant. So
the cool thing about that is, I remember all my transactions. Like I keep a good contact with all my clients. So of course, when I met Lito was family of a friend, and I think I take away something from every transaction that makes me a little bit better. And the one thing I genuinely appreciate Lito for is Lito forced me to be better.
Yeah, fuck that.
This dude's a very intuitive gentleman, bro. Like, this dude is very smart, and he questions a lot of things. But the reason I like that is because I had gotten to the motion of, all right, I sell a house, next person, sell a house, next person, and it's kind of on cruise control. But Lito started hitting me with questions that kind of made me question, like, all right, do I really know what the hell I'm talking about? And I appreciate him for that. And honestly, all the times we went looking at cribs, like, I never really felt like I was with a client. Like, I felt like I knew Lito for years, because we could relate on a lot of stuff past real estate. And he wanted the real ones. That's the easiest way to say it. He wanted the real ones.
That.
And this my dog. I pick up the phone and call him. We ain't gotta talk about real estate. We just talk about real life, real rap. You know, I made a genuine friend
100%.
when I sold Lito house, and that's keeping it a buck.
100%.
But hey, I appreciate y'all tagging along for another testimonial.
You gotta do the whole, what is it, the like, subscribe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If y'all could,
the bell icon.
I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, holding us down. Y'all could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so y'all get notified when I drop new videos. We about to get back to it, y'all. See y'all next time, man. Y'all be easy, gone.